Preparation: make a sourdough starter. What you need: 200 grams whole wheat flour. Rye flour is an excellent choice for a strong starter. 200 milliliters water, room temperature. A clean glass or plastic jar. Instructions: mix the ingredients. 1. Combine 200 grams of whole wheat flour with 200 milliliters of water in a clean jar. 2. Stir well until all the flour is fully incorporated into the water. Cover and let rest. 3. Loosely cover the jar with a clean cloth or plastic wrap. 4. Let the mixture sit at room temperature for 24 hours, preferably around 21 degrees Celsius, 24 degrees Celsius. Feed your starter daily. 1. Day 1, after 24 hours, you should see a few bubbles. Now we made our sourdough, we gonna feed it. Point 1. Remove half of the mixture, about 200 grams, and add 100 grams of flour and 100 milliliters of water. 2. Stir well. 3. Days 2-5. Repeat this feeding daily. 4. Your starter should become increasingly bubbly and sour. 5. After about 5 days, the starter should be active and ready for use. Test the starter. 1. The starter is ready for use when it has a strong bubbling activity and a sour aroma. 2. It should double in volume within 4-6 hours after feeding. Make the sourdough bread. What you need: 1. 100 grams active sourdough starter. 2. 500 grams wheat flour. You can also use a mixture of wheat and rye. 3. 350 milliliters water, room temperature. 4. 10 grams salt. Instructions: mix the ingredients. 1. In a large bowl, mix 100 grams of active sourdough starter with 350 milliliters of water until the starter is fully dissolved. 2. Add 500 grams of wheat flour and mix well until it forms a rough dough. 3. Add 10 grams of salt and knead the dough thoroughly for about 10-15 minutes until the dough is elastic and smooth. 3. You can do this by hand or with a stand mixer. Let the dough rise. 1. Shape the dough into a ball and place it in a lightly greased bowl. 1. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap or a damp cloth. 2. Let the dough rise at room temperature for 4-6 hours, or until it has doubled in volume. Shape the bread. 1. Place the risen dough on a lightly floured surface. 2. Gently press the dough to release air bubbles and shape it into a round or oval loaf. 2. Place the dough in a well-floured proofing basket or on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Let the bread rise again. 1. Cover the proofing basket or baking sheet with a clean cloth and let the dough rise for 2-3 hours, or until it has doubled in volume again. Preheat the oven. 1. Preheat your oven to 230 degrees Celsius, 450 degrees Fahrenheit. 2. Place a cast iron pan or a baking stone in the oven to preheat. 3. This helps to achieve a crisp crust. Bake the bread. 1. Slash the surface of the dough with a sharp knife or a razor blade to allow controlled expansion during baking. 2. Carefully place the dough into the hot pan or on the baking stone. 3. Bake the bread for 30-35 minutes, or until the crust is golden brown and the bread sounds hollow when tapped on the bottom. 4. For a nice, crispy crust, you can place a small bowl of water in the oven to create steam. Cool the bread. 1. Remove the bread from the oven and let it cool on a wire rack. 1. Allow it to cool completely before slicing to maintain the best texture and flavor. Tips: sourdough starter. Ensure your sourdough starter is active and well fed before using it to make your bread. A healthy starter ensures good rising and flavor. Kneading technique. Proper kneading is important to develop gluten in the dough, which contributes to the bread's texture. Rising. Rising times can vary depending on the ambient temperature and the activity of your starter. Make sure the dough rises in a warm, draft-free environment. Oven. If you don't have a cast iron pan, you can use a regular baking sheet. However, using a cast iron pan can help achieve a nice, crispy crust. With these instructions, you can enjoy delicious homemade sourdough bread. Happy baking!